different. He was just something different. I knew it was something from God, but I couldn't figure out how because it was new to me, you know.
A normal day isn't really normal. There's always something weird that happens, unavoidably. Maybe your McDonald's order comes out to $11.11, and, you know, the normal people that you meet aren't really all that normal. You get to know someone well enough, eventually they got a story for you. At least that's my contention. Question is there any reason behind it? What controls strange occurrences? What or whom? Today you'll hear my friend Jeff Dooley say that it was God. I'll tell you a story about a weird thing that happened, a unique person that he met, and why God was behind it all. I'm inclined to believe him. He's got this plain faith like no one I've met before, and he plays some really good folk music. The music that you're hearing right now is an original recorded with his band in 1994. Actually, there's a lot to say about Jeff. I'll get to that in a moment. All told, I just hope you enjoy this little project of mine and Jeff's story about a mysterious stranger.
Salt if you want salt, and there's a little barbecue sauce if you want that on your eggs.
Got the stubs.
Scubbers.
Skags. A Vermont breakfast. That's what me and a couple college friends made at Jeff's cabin up near the Canadian border a couple weeks ago. Jeff has been taking trips there since he was a teenager. But after he became a Christian in the 70s, God changed the cabin from a place that he would go to smoke pot with his buddies into a place that he would bring people he met to tell them about Jesus.
Students of mine would want to come up. They heard about it, you know.
Yeah.
So once in a while I'd bring one or two up, and they'd come up and help me work on a place or whatever, and they would get saved.
The students that Jeff's referring to are from the Kokorokan Dojo in Troy, New York, which is a karate school that Jeff and a friend opened back in the day. He's a black belt, expert instructor there. Still goes, teaches classes sometimes. Don't mess with him. But he's got a heart for lost kids, and he's had quite a few adventures with them. And that's where his story comes in. It's about a road trip in 1979 with Jeff, two boys named Frank and Steve, and a mysterious stranger who remains nameless.
Well, I had two kids. They went to my church, and I decided to go cross country, take a couple weeks off, 3 weeks off from work. And they wanted to go. And the parents said they could go. They were 15 years old. I wouldn't let kids go with somebody, you know.
You wouldn't?
Well, think about it, you know.
It is kind of a little suspicious.
Yeah, you know. Dangerous, you know, if anything. Yeah, but anyway.
But they let you.
Yeah, because they knew I was one of the kind of a youth leader.
Yeah.
So they went. We were in Arizona and just getting into the desert or somewhere. Let me think. It was the corner of Colorado. I don't know where. Anyway, we were on our way, and it was desolate. And I come out of this one gas station town, and I got gas at the station, and there was a store there. We pulled out on the highway going towards the Grand Canyon, which wasn't that far away, far enough, but it was all straight road and nothing. There was nothing after that. It was more like desert, you know.
Yeah.
And I went by this guy, and I didn't want to pick people up with them kids in the car. I was a little nervous. And I went by him, and I just felt, oh Lord, you know, I don't know, a mile down, I said to the kids, I said, you know, I really hate to leave this guy out here in this desert alone.
Yeah, there was nothing around him.
Something's telling me to pick him up.
Yeah.
What do you think? You know, hey, we'll get in the back seat, and we'll choke him if he tries anything. I said, all right. So I turned around on the highway and went back, and I pulled up and got him, you know. He had a duffel bag, like a Navy bag or something.
Mm.
So we got talking to him. He said, yeah. I said, well, what do you do? I mean, what are you out here in the middle of nowhere for? I just travel around. He goes, I'm a merchant marine, basically. He goes, I travel. I help people out and stuff like that. Just he was different. He was just something different. I knew it was something from God, but I couldn't figure out how because it was new to me,
Mm-hmm.
And so we're driving. He goes, I'll help you, keep you awake when you're driving at night. I said, it was a long way, and it got dark, and those guys fell asleep, and this guy kept me awake and helped me find my way to the Grand Canyon. And when we got there was this big open field, away from the restaurants and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So we pulled in, and I was driving out into the field just to get away from the other people so we could sleep. And I told the guy, he told me, just park here. And he said, and if you got a bag, I'll sleep out under a tree or something. You can sleep in the car. I mean, there's room. There's a big station wagon. No, I'll take a bag and go out. All right. And the kids got out and they started running towards the front of the car. And he goes, he stopped them, He goes, don't run out there. He goes, you don't know where you are. It's dangerous around here. I think to myself, well, it's just a field, And when I get up in the morning, I found the car was right in the Grand Canyon. I'm thinking, didn't those kids run out there? I'm trying to picture in my mind, these kids seems like they ran past the front of the car.
So how far was the front of your car from the edge of the canyon?
It was like, the car was here, and that's the canyon. And
So
when you
like
look out, you
feet?
think it's a field because it's dark. The headlights just shine straight out.
Wow.
Just like parking in the field.
So you're only like 5 or 10 feet away from
Yeah, it's like, when I got up in the morning, I just thought right away I knew that this guy, something about the Lord is watching these kids.
Yeah. So then,
If it wasn't for him, they would have been dead.
Tis so sweet to trust in Jesus, just to take him at his word.
Did you see the hitchhiker again?
Yeah, I took him. We went to breakfast. They had a little cafe there and stuff. And we went to breakfast, and he walked around with us. He took pictures of us, and we took pictures of him. Touring the canyon a little bit.
I proved him more and more. Jesus, Jesus, precious Jesus.
We went back to the restaurants and have lunch or something. And I told him I was going to leave, And he goes, well, you can go. He goes, I got a job here. I'm going to stay here.
Wow.
I said, what? You got a job? I thought you were going out to the coast. Oh, no, this is my destination. This is good enough. Myself.
He told you that he was going to the coast, right?
Yeah, he was going because I was going to California.
Yeah.
He goes, this is as far as I go.
What was his job?
Huh?
Did you know what his job was? Like what?
He's going to work in the cafeteria or something.
Interesting.
Take the garbage out or something. I don't know what he was doing. I didn't know. It was like it was so like
It's just
weird to me. It's strange.
Unexplained.
I'm like, all right, this guy's an angel.
Could be.
Wow, I read that in the Bible. Strangers that you pick up, beware. They may be angels you're entertaining.
To trust him more.
Jeff and the two boys continued on their trip after that, making it all the way to Cali and taking lots of photos. Then they made their way back home, and they stopped at Jeff's cabin in Vermont for about a week to rest. And now, more than 40 years later, that's the cabin that Jeff brought me and my friends to rest and hang out in. Jeff has taught me a lot about how sweet it is to trust Jesus. It's one thing to say, I believe in God, but another to trust that God will come through for you and has come through for you in some crazy situations. This story is just one of many where Jeff so clearly gives the credit to the Lord. And it makes me want to pay attention to what God's doing in my life to take care of me and come through for me and love me. Hope it does for you too. This little podcast was produced from my home studio, in other words, my laptop, using the free software Reaper. The opening song is Empty Cup, written by Jeff and performed on Heaven's Mountain Band's 1994 album Hereafter. My friend John sang the lead on our cabin cover of 'Tis So Sweet to Trust in Jesus. Eric and I sang harmony.
Let me know when you're ready.
By the way, that verse that Jeff quoted at the end about angels is Hebrews 13:2. What you're hearing right now is what Eric and John and I heard late on Saturday night as we were going to bed in the tiny cabin guest room, waiting to turn out the light while Jeff played the piano in the other room. Until next time, this is Joe Hoffman. Thanks for stopping by.